Mike Tyson is not holding back. In a moment that has shocked the boxing world, Tyson has finally broken his silence on the passing of George Foreman at the age of 76. But instead of a tribute, his words were filled with raw emotion and decades-old resentment. "I will never forgive him for what he did to Muhammad Ali," Tyson said, sending shockwaves through the sports community. What exactly happened between Foreman and Ali that left Tyson with such deep bitterness? And why is he choosing now to reveal the truth? Stay with us because this story is more intense than anyone could have imagined. Mike Tyson has always been known for speaking his mind, but his recent comments about George Foreman have left many fans stunned. The boxing legend, known for his explosive power and fierce loyalty to his idols, has made it clear he still holds a deep grudge against Foreman for what happened to Muhammad Ali decades ago. But why? What could Foreman have possibly done to Ali that Tyson deems unforgivable even after all these years? Was it something that happened inside the ring? Or was there more to the story, something hidden beneath the surface that only a few insiders truly understand? With George Foreman's passing at 76, the world expected tributes, reflections on his legendary career, and stories about his impact on the sport. Instead, Mike Tyson's words have opened old wounds, reminding fans of one of boxing's most controversial chapters. Tonight, we're diving deep into the complicated history between Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and Mike Tyson, uncovering the tensions, betrayals, and lasting impact of one of the greatest rivalries in boxing history. Stay tuned because this story is about to take a shocking turn. To understand why Mike Tyson holds such a deep grudge against George Foreman, we first need to go back to the man who inspired Tyson's entire boxing career, Muhammad Ali. Ali wasn't just a boxer. He was a movement, a voice, a symbol of resilience. He fought not just inside the ring, but outside of it, taking stands against injustice, war, and racial inequality. He was more than an athlete. He was a hero. Tyson has never shied away from admitting just how much Ali meant to him. As a young boy growing up in Brooklyn, Tyson watched Ali with awe. He saw the way Ali carried himself, the way he dominated his opponents, and the way he refused to let anyone break his spirit. To Tyson, Ali wasn't just a champion. He was the ultimate warrior. But Tyson didn't just admire Ali from afar. When he was still an up-and-coming fighter, he had the opportunity to meet his idol. That moment changed his life forever. Ali, who was already struggling with Parkinson's disease at the time, looked Tyson in the eye and gave him words of encouragement. "You're going to be the one," Ali told him. "You're going to bring boxing back." And Tyson took those words to heart. He trained harder than ever before, determined to honor Ali's legacy. But there was one fight from Ali's past that haunted Tyson: the fight against George Foreman. And it wasn't just because it was one of the greatest matches in boxing history. It was because of what Tyson believed Foreman did to Ali. But what exactly happened in that fight that left such a lasting impact on Tyson? To understand Mike Tyson's deep resentment toward George Foreman, we need to travel back to one of the most iconic fights in boxing history, the Rumble in the Jungle. It was 1974. Muhammad Ali was no longer the undefeated, unstoppable champion he once was. He had been stripped of his heavyweight title years earlier for refusing to be drafted into the Vietnam War. And by the time he made his return to boxing, many believed he was past his prime. On the other hand, George Foreman was a wrecking machine. At just 25 years old, he was the reigning heavyweight champion, and he had torn through his competition like a tornado. He demolished Joe Frazier in just 2 rounds, knocking him down 6 times before the fight was stopped. Foreman was seen as invincible, a man with devastating punching power, an undefeated record, and the sheer strength to put any opponent to sleep. When Ali challenged Foreman for the heavyweight title, the world saw it as a suicide mission. Sports writers predicted that Foreman would destroy Ali within a few rounds. Some even feared for Ali's health, worried that he would get seriously hurt. But Ali had other plans. What happened next in that ring in Zaire, Africa, stunned the entire world. Ali didn't just fight Foreman. He outsmarted him. Instead of trading blows with the stronger, younger champion, Ali leaned against the ropes, letting Foreman exhaust himself with wild punches. This strategy, now famously known as the rope-a-dope, was a masterpiece of psychological warfare. Foreman kept swinging round after round, but Ali absorbed the blows and kept talking to him. "You punch like a girl, George." Ali taunted. "Is that all you got?" And then in the 8th round, It happened. Ali saw his opening and unleashed a furious combination of punches. Foreman, completely drained and defenseless, crumbled to the canvas. The world gasped. The unbeatable George Foreman had just been knocked out. Ali had done the impossible. This victory cemented Muhammad Ali as the greatest of all time. But to Mike Tyson, the fight meant much more than just another win for Ali. It was a battle that changed his entire perspective on the sport. As Tyson grew older and learned more about that fight, he began to feel that Foreman had wronged Ali. But what exactly did Foreman do that made Tyson so furious? That's where things start to get controversial. For many boxing fans, the Rumble in the Jungle was just an incredible display of strategy, endurance, and intelligence. But for Mike Tyson, it was something deeper, something personal. As Tyson studied Muhammad Ali's career, he realized that Ali wasn't just a fighter. He was a symbol of strength, resilience, and black excellence. Ali had stood against oppression, refused to back down from the U.S. government during the Vietnam War, and inspired millions around the world. To Tyson, Ali wasn't just another champion. He was a warrior, a legend, a man who put his life and career on the line for what he believed in. And that's exactly why Tyson saw Foreman as a villain in Ali's story. Foreman's disrespect for Ali. One of the things that angered Tyson the most was how Foreman treated Ali before their fight. Leading up to the Rumble in the Jungle, George Foreman was not the humble, soft-spoken man we see today. He was a young, cocky, and ruthless champion who showed no respect for Muhammad Ali. Foreman dismissed Ali as washed up. He made jokes about knocking him out within 2 rounds. He even went as far as saying, "Ali won't last more than 3 rounds with me. He's too old, too slow, and I hit too hard." This kind of disrespect infuriated Tyson. See, Mike Tyson idolized Ali. Growing up in Brooklyn, young Tyson was bullied, constantly fighting in the streets and struggling to find his place in the world. When he discovered boxing, he became obsessed with Ali's fights. He watched old tapes, memorized Ali's movements, and saw him as an untouchable figure. But Foreman, he had mocked Ali, underestimated him, and tried to erase his legacy.